wait, before you go.
Hey, what's going on, Dodgers Nation? Perfect timing. Look at that. We got the dream team here, plus Kevin. What's going on?
Well, what's happening, fellas? How are we?
I'm Clint. That's Kevin. That's Bergman. Mr. Greg,
Hello,
as you guys know,
yes.
of post-game fame. What's going on?
Hashtag DN postgame.
Yeah.
And hashtag DN pregame, and
Yes.
that's hashtag
And
Blue
I'm
Heaven
hashtag
Pod.
BM after the post game.
What's going on, guys? This is a little off-day pep rally. Our boys, Bergman didn't have enough yesterday of hanging out with you guys after a nice champagne bath.
It's going to happen. If we get to the World Series and win the World Series, I think the champagne bath has to happen.
Oh, yeah.
For everybody, though, not just me.
No,
just
no.
everybody.
We're going to get together here at DNHQ, and we're just going to destroy the place, and then we're going to have our
And we'll say, Gary, you clean it.
yeah. We can give a little meh, and then we'll have our special intern clean it all up because we're nice kids like that.
We're adorable.
I'm just going to move this here so I can just read it and not hold it. There we go. That's this is my computer today.
Yeah.
So
This is again, it's a little bit different setup. Nothing's gonna be the same that you're used to me doing or him doing, but hopefully we have some fun. Oh, we already got AJ on the Facebook stream. What's going on, AJ?
what's up, AJ?
He was there. He was there at SunTrust Field when the Dodgers were able to pop some bottles.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
he thinks that
nice.
he is now the clincher. We have to actually call him the clincher?
Well,
Yeah.
he did have a
Right.
lot of chili cheese fries before the game.
Yeah.
They
No,
call
that's
him-
the
That's 2 in a
clincher.
row, though. Hey,
That's
good
the
for you,
clincher.
AJ. That's 2 games. Oh, that's right.
Ooh, wait. I don't think I have a. I got that. That's the best I got.
All right,
Let us
sounds
know if
good.
you have the sound effects. So we got Brian Hatfield saying hi, ladies. Hello. Right away. David Cano, we appreciate the question here, but do you guys think we have a chance at signing Machado for next season?
Wow, that was quick.
God,
Yeah.
it's so quick. It's a question that I get the most on the postgame. It's like, wait, let's get through the postgame. Let's get through the postseason first, and then we can start talking about
Nope,
that.
we're not about
Yeah.
that life.
Nope. So I'm going to say yes. I think there is a chance that we sign him in the offseason.
I think there's a chance, but I mean, he's going to cost $300 to $400 million.
Yeah.
And if he continues to play like he has, besides the couple home runs, I don't think he's worth it.
Yeah, I don't know
Especially
how I
with
feel
Seager
about
coming back.
Tell you
giving
what,
him
everybody,
30.
all of you out there, pool your money,
Yeah.
and we'll all chip in to pay Machado.
What's it called when you do it online?
Oh, yeah, we'll GoFundMe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
GoFundMe. Get a
GoFundMe.
GoFundMe going.
We'll
we can all-
GoFund
we can
Manny.
all bring him back.
Go fun Manny.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that. That's the kind of stuff you see on the Beautiful Way. I can do it. I can do it on the Blue Heaven podcast. New episodes every Wednesday. That's the good stuff about using my PC here.
Oh, see, we got this one. Andre California 7 says, "Let's stop complaining about broadcast teams. Yeah, they don't hate your team. No, it's true.
They don't hate your
Somebody
team,
listens.
but John Smoltz hates everything.
John
No,
Smoltz hates analytics. John Smoltz hates the shift.
Yeah. He hates kids on his lawn. He hates
He hates
anything,
puppies.
Anything past 1995.
And if you really believe that John Smoltz, who was a Brave for basically his whole career,
Yeah.
doesn't hate the Dodgers, you're wrong. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. He absolutely does not like the Dodgers. He wanted the Braves to win. He was very
Yeah.
much rooting for the Braves.
Yeah.
It's a truth.
Yeah, Joe Buck, I would say, doesn't hate the Dodgers. I don't know that he hates anybody, really.
No.
Everybody hates Joe Buck, but yeah, Joe Buck doesn't hate your team. Most national broadcasters don't hate your team. John Smoltz does not, or at least this time, did not like the Dodgers and was not rooting for the Dodgers.
No, he was very much a Braves fan in that series.
And
Agreed.
let's flip to the other side. The Dodgers regular play-by-play guy, Joe Davis, friend of the show. We have an
One of the
interview with
most
him on
amazing men of all
tomorrow's
time.
tomorrow's Blue Heaven coming out. Interview with him and Jerry Harrison Jr. But yeah, the most evenly called match you could ever do. You think he
Absolutely.
wanted to be excited about Acuna's home run or the grand slam? No, but he
No.
called it the way it was supposed to be called. He called the game the right way.
Because Dodger announcers are generally not homers. Vin Scully was not even remotely a homer, and Joe Davis is the same way.
Vinny just showed up to tell us stories.
Yeah,
Beautiful
it's really
stories.
what it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're finished. I was just talking about this today with somebody, and is there a guy that you've ever heard of that has taken over for a legend and been widely accepted so much as Joe Davis? I don't think I've ever seen it happen this way before.
No,
Yeah,
it
no, I don't
just
think
it
so.
could not have been anybody better than Joe
No.
to replace not only a legend, not only just a summer staple, but really, as we call Joe already, but really a part of the family with Vinny. You're anywhere for 67 years. It's an open door policy.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it
Come
was,
on over, Vinny.
Yeah, it was
That's
Vinny
true.
by himself, and now you have Joe and Oral, who are the perfect team together.
Yes.
Love watching Joe and Oral.
Fantastic.
So it works really well. It made it much easier to say goodbye to Vinny.
Yeah. Oh,
even though
absolutely.
nobody ever wanted to.
No,
No,
of
you want
course.
to keep him there, but yeah, I would love to have this team going until the wheels fall off. for Laurel.
Agreed.
Let's see. So
Let's see. I got one here if you're
All right, go for
looking
it.
for one. It's from Derek. I can't read the last. Ida Luca. Nobody talking about Ryan Madson. How big was he in the NLDS? Another great deadline move. And someone still also talking about Madson was that he was the second in the same guy. Madson second in postseason strikeouts for relievers all time for a reason. That's why they got him. So
what's crazy about Madson is that he's that high on the playoff strikeout total, and that's somebody who missed the better part of like 3 or 4 seasons of Major League Baseball from injury. It was a questionable call to have him on the roster, but I think just about anybody that questioned it was proven wrong. He was somebody who stepped up to the plate better than anybody else could have done in those situations and got.
I don't know.
big
He didn't get a hit
outs.
at all. I'm
This
very
is true.
disappointed.
You know what?
in
You're
Ryan
letting us
he was
down,
0 for
Madson.
in that
He
series.
was
yeah.
0 for. He did not hit the ball one, not even contact.
No.
Awful.
But I mean, if you looked at his numbers before the season, or before the series against the Braves, and looked at how he did against the Braves, he was very good. And so when you saw that Madson was on it, you're like, all right, I don't really want to see him because of his bad ERA in September.
Yeah.
But you saw how he was against the Braves, and it said, okay, I understand why he's on this team now and why he's made the 25-man roster. And he came through huge, absolutely huge last night. With only 1 out and bases loaded.
We'll give him a round of applause. And by the way, I'm facing it forward. We're not sponsored by Sparklets, but we are looking for sponsors. Just saying. Kevin is asking, why are you asking me a question? What do you think with Milwaukee using a bullpen game?
I think
Which
it's
is
likely
going
going
to
to
happen, yeah.
I mean, that's what they
Jinx.
do.
Slap hands.
I feel so left out. No, I don't want your
Wi-Fi.
pity. Your pity. I
Wi-Fi.
don't want your pity. Okay, you can rub. All right. But no, I mean, that's basically what they're doing. And we were talking about this, and you might hear a little bit of on the podcast later on, is that the bullpen for the Brewers is going to get taxed. If they're going to use bullpen games, you're going to see these guys more often. Hey, and then
We have our producer taking a picture.
and so
That was Greg Fonzie over here.
No, so when they're getting used so much, they're going to get taxed. And in a 7-game series, it's different than how they were using in the 5-game series, where they could kind of balance them out a little bit more. In this, they're going to be used so much. If they have to go all 7 and the starters are being knocked out in the 2nd, 3rd inning consistently, the Dodgers will hit this bullpen. As good as it is, they will hit them because you're going to see them too much.
I agree. Yeah.
There's only so much they can expect out of Josh Hader. As much as and everybody, please give him every amount of hate you have when he comes rolling out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
Same for Ryan Madson because he cost our boy Matty Kemp, beast mode himself. He cost him an MVP in 2011. But
You're thinking of Ryan Braun, not Ryan Manson. I
The
don't think
other one.
Ryan Manson won the
The other-
MVP in
Yeah,
2011.
whatever. What has he done for us? What has he done for us lately? No, Ryan Braun in the same breath. But with Josh Hader, they're going to throw him out as much as they can because that's somebody who's going to destroy Peterson, going to destroy Muncy and all that. Lefty he had 140 strikeouts in 81 innings. That's beyond insane.
Yeah.
So boo the hell out of him, please.
Agreed.
But he's also somebody you can't throw him 9 days in a row.
No, you can't pitch them every single game, and they're going to try to. That's the problem. They can do back-to-back nights, and then where it's really going to come into play is when they come back to Los Angeles and they have 3 games in a row, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You can't pitch those guys 3 days in a row.
Very true.
If you pull a bullpen game on Monday and Tuesday, where like the starters don't go long, then they're gonna have a lot of trouble on that Wednesday game.
Yeah.
And if the Dodgers take 1 in Milwaukee, they take 1 in LA in those first 2 games, then it should be smooth sailing the rest of the way because their bullpen is gonna be completely taxed.
Yeah, they're going to be exhausted, and that's the thing. I mean, my big thing for the Dodgers coming up in the NLCS is they really need to focus on getting to, and I think Jay Hare was with me on this one, was they need to focus on getting to the starting pitching because the starting pitching of the Brewers is pedestrian. They're an adequate pitching staff. They do okay, but really the strength of that team is in their bullpen. And if the Dodgers bats can start hitting early, if they can do what they've been doing against Atlanta, couple runs in the first inning, put some more pressure. I mean, that one, it makes the Brewers offense a little more desperate. They need to focus a little harder on trying to hit the Dodgers pitching, but it gives us an advantage and it gets them to their bullpen quicker. And then, like you were talking about, they're taxed because then we're getting them they're pitching 6 innings instead of 3, every one of these games, and by game 6, game 7, they're exhausted.
And I think to that point is very much, it takes a lot. This Dodgers team, they need to be what they have been over the last month and a half, which has been a very patient team, taking a lot of walks.
27 walks in the division series.
That's insane.
And also being a team that's going to make the starters work and make sure that they're not swinging at the first pitches. I mean, I know a lot of times you want to see that, but you saw what happened in Atlanta. Atlanta was swinging at the first pitch every single time for the most. They were the number 1 team in baseball to do that.
Yeah.
And they fell apart because of it. There's a lot of times where they had bases loaded and they would just pop out because they were swinging at that first pitch. So if the Dodgers can get these 3-2 counts, get 8 pitches into those at-bats. I mean, when guys like Walker Buehler take 8 pitches when Rich Hill takes 8 pitches.
And that totally screwed up Rich Hill.
But at the same time, I mean, you're making these guys work. They're not going to be able to stay in as long. That's what you need to do. And if you can get to that bullpen faster, that's the biggest deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I agree. And don't take the Nomar approach, basically. Don't be that first pitch fastball hitter.
And
you gotta
do all the idiosyncrasies.
Don't take your time. So we had someone, I missed the name, but somebody was talking about agreeing with Smoltz being a Dodger hater. Somebody else talking about how Joe Buck is a Dodger hater. So we got people that are responding here. I think we all kind of agree with Olivia right here. Says Friday seems so far away.
It does.
It really does.
It really does.
This is painful. So if you're also looking for more content on Wednesday, all new Blue Heaven podcast coming out then.
That's true.
I got one for you guys. All right. So first of all, Andre, I apologize. It's not California. It's Andre CA7. Sorry, I don't know what that is. But this one is from Tam Smith 1. 3 days off, good or bad for the Dodgers?
Good.
Yeah, I think it's good.
I totally agree. Everybody gets healthy. Everybody gets the nicks and bruises all fixed up.
Yeah.
You got time to assess who's healthy, time to maybe make some changes. Hint, hint, Alex Wood. Hint, hint, welcome back, maybe Stripling, who they identified a pitch tip problem with him in his hands or something like that.
Why couldn't they figure that out for Darvish last year? If you can see
too soon.
Well, no, I mean it's a serious question. If you can figure out that Rich Hill was tipping his pitches from Chase Utley, if you can figure out that Ross Stripling was tipping his pitches, and hopefully he gets better in this NLCS, why were they not able to figure it out for Darvish? Was it just Darvish?
I'm wondering if I wonder about that, not to keep reliving the 2017 World Series.
I don't want to do that, but it's
no. But I get what you're saying. And
welcome to 2017 World Series talk.
I hate that topic.
I think it's topical. So I agree with that. But I wonder how much of it had to do with him tipping his pitches and how much of it had to do with the fact that he was playing in a division with Houston, who knew him real well and just hit him consistently.
Yeah, they knew the dude and they knew it was going to be coming, and it very obviously showed.
Yeah. I mean, they torched him for like 10 runs, like a month or something before he got traded to the Dodgers, and he did not pitch well against them. And we talked about this off air, the three of us actually. We were talking about how Houston is a team that hits those high fastball, those guys who throw the heat, and that was essentially Darvish. That's what he was throwing as well. Right. It was those fastballs. I mean, essentially they turned into meatballs.
Yeah,
I mean, that's pretty much what he was throwing them because they just shelled him.
Yeah, and I just wonder why this wasn't a situation that the Dodgers front office just noticed it and didn't use him. So hopefully that's not something that maybe they learn from their mistakes, and if something is happening, if Ross Stripling comes back into this NLCS and he gives up jacks right off the bat, don't let him back into the game.
No.
Don't pull him. Don't wait too long to pull him. Look what happened with Aaron Boone in the Yankee series.
And I think Roberts has been pretty good about that. He's actually kind of improved his bullpen game a lot. The only real question was Wood, and I could understand you putting him in that spot. You got to see what he's made out of in this postseason, and to have him go and face a former teammate, knowing what he might try to throw up there, and you kind of expected Woody to come out of the bullpen and maybe tick up a few miles per hour on the fastball, but it just plainly didn't happen.
Yeah.
I don't feel like he's giving you the best opportunity to win baseball games in such a crucial short series. He's no Josh Hader, which again makes sure you guys boo him.
Yeah.
Boo hater.
We got
questionable.
we got a comment on YouTube. Just you garbage MVP 17 World Series. Thank you,
was
Von
it.
Gooch.
Not bad. Beth says Smoltz is better than Charlie Steiner.
Well, everybody is better than Charlie
Ooh,
Steiner.
You know,
That's a tough one.
I don't know. That's kind of a push. It's a little
No.
bit.
I mean, at least Smoltz
Do you
remembers
want
who
somebody?
people are.
Do you want
but-
somebody that's lost or somebody that's angry?
That's a good point.
That is a good point. At least let's give it up for Smoltz that he actually talked to Joe Davis. Whereas
That's fair.
Whereas Charlie didn't even know that Oral existed
No.
in those games.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
He thought, I guess Charlie Steiner thought he was Vin Scully and that Oral Hershiser was just the stat boy. I have no idea.
We
but-
would.
Yeah.
We would be hurting Anne's feelings right now because she likes Steiner better, and
Oh.
Smoltz is too mellow and boring. I don't know
Well,
if he's mellow.
I just feel like he's angry.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's
I feel like
grumpy. is
yeah,
what
he's
the-
too
He
grumpy.
wants you to do things his way.
He's
and
old
play-
man with old man opinions. He's play the game the white way.
Surprisingly, first time I've ever seen this, Junior says no. Joe Davis has a lot to learn. I mean, it's reasonable. He's not even 31 yet, but dude is just a beast when
Yeah.
it comes to calling play-by-play.
I-
That's my humble opinion. I'm just saying.
Oh, we have a question here on YouTube from Anto Viamonte. Who do you think the Brewers will start in their game? So who are the Brewers the Milwaukee rotation?
It's Ulyss Chassin, Wade Miley, Chase Anderson, Gio Gonzalez, and Zach Davies. So who is actually the starters in those? You
Yeah.
gotta, you
Game
gotta,
one, I think
it was
they've
Chassin.
yeah they've
Or
all
no,
but penciled in.
Game one was a bullpen game, right?
What I've read most recently, they've most recently said that they're going to pencil in Chastain to start game one.
Okay.
Don't expect him to go more than 4, maybe 5 innings if he's sailing.
Unless he's getting shelled.
I'm saying Muncy takes him deep.
I like it.
I think so too.
You heard it here first, folks. Wait, I have it. I'm not used to having it on a live stream. It's beautiful.
So Muncy takes him deep and also hits a home run?
Yes.
All right. I like it.
All right, I got one here. So this is from Eddie Burdon. Should the Dodgers keep the same roster?
I mean, I don't think it is trade away all their players right now. This is not a good time of the year for that.
Jackass.
You don't
That
wanna-
is, as you guys can see.
This is
over
why
here,
people love you, Kevin.
That is Kev is your friend
Look,
on
this is the time to
Instagram.
keep the team together, guys.
No, I don't think anybody really changed, especially the
Yeah.
position players.
Starters stay the same.
13 same, starters stay the same. The only guy that we could possibly think that would change would be Wood goes out, Stripling goes in. That's right.
Yeah, that and very, very unlikely but small chance that Dozier gets flipped for a lefty batter like Utley, which that's just Robert saying it. I don't envision it. I think Utley's kind of hung up the cleats.
Yeah, I think he's kind of done in
Yeah.
baseball. Period. I mean, maybe as a bench coach or
Pitching coach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pitching coach.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's our
well,
pitching
he is a
coach.
pitching coach
Yeah,
at this
he's
point.
our pitching coach.
All right, where was this one?
Elizabeth,
Go
I would
ahead.
say real quick, she sees the chemistry with Machado, Kemp, Puig, Turner. Manny feels comfortable. It looks like he's comfortable in L.A., so she wants Manny to stay. A lot of
wouldn't be
people.
I think he likes it here, to be honest
Yeah.
with you.
I wouldn't doubt that he likes it here. I think he likes $300 to $400 million from the Yankees or the Red Sox or the Phillies a lot more.
Possibly.
I think he's out for the money, and he think that's what he's most
I would not be
important to
surprised.
him.
Yeah.
So as much as I would love to see Manny back here, I'm fully on board with bringing him back. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Hey, you'll like this one real quick.
Oh no, I'm afraid.
You'll love this one. This is this is
Jesse
Jesse.
Castro.
Jessica, I wish I had Bregman's job on ESPN LA. It's Greg
Well,
Bregman.
I'm never going to complain about that job ever in my life. Okay, I sit here and I talk sports for my entire life.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
a
It's not
sport-filled day for you, hasn't
Yeah.
it, Sausage Jeans?
Hey,
I don't even know. I've
No,
literally don't listen.
He's your multi-platform Greg now.
Yes,
right?
I'm multi-platform Greg now. They changed it. They even shortened it. It's MPG. I am now just
MPG.
MPG
Oh, wow.
at this point. So it's changing consistently. I was Captain VPN, Sausage Jeans, Poor Greg, Winning at Life Greg.
That one didn't last long.
No, that one didn't last long. It was just because I was messing around with them. And they just
Rude.
decided. Yeah, exactly. All right, so I got another one from the real Brian G. It's not the fake Ryan G. This is the
We-
real Brian G.
we only
Oh,
want
thank
real.
goodness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who will be your surprise bat this series?
I don't know if it's a surprise, but I'm gonna go with Muncy again. Muncy was my pick to click for the first series. And while the average wasn't there, it wasn't there for anybody outside of Justin Turner. But he's somebody who's gonna get on base, try to keep the line moving. I'm gonna call 3 homers.
Okay.
Nice.
My surprise bat, and I guess it's also not a huge surprise, But I'm going to say Chris Taylor has a huge series.
That was exactly who I was going to go with.
Oh,
because that's
look at that.
yeah,
That
slap
wasn't
hands. That was a real one.
that
That was a
wasn't
real one.
I didn't even hear any hand slappage.
Yeah.
Y'all do better.
Yeah, don't do better. There you go.
Hey.
Hey, apparently, they're saying our volume is really low. A lot of people are saying that our volume is low.
You need us to be louder, guys.
There's a little knob. There's a little button on the side of the phone.
Oh, so here's one from Diamond Hoggers, Clint Evans.
Hey,
He is coming up there saying that, guys, do you think Cody Bellinger is a great player? Would like to see Bellinger hit third. Bellinger hit third. We just sat here talking about how we think that Bellingers may sit more often for Chris Taylor. And Diamond Hoggers, Clint Evans, wants to know if Bellinger should hit third and his 0 for 12.
I like how Evan's question is essentially great player or greatest player. Cody Bellinger.
The options are really pretty stretched out here.
Oh, Evans.
You're going to love tomorrow's episode. We are nothing but lovers for
we love him. Wishy-washy player?
He's very wishy-washy. Dodgers and chill. What up with that, Jen? Very wishy-washy.
We have a good question here, actually, from Michael Huang. Should Kemp be starting over Puig against lefties?
No, because Puig doesn't start against lefties because he has very, very bad reverse splits. I think he's hitting, 180 on the year against lefties?
So Kemp should be really low.
Puig,
you're
saying.
Yeah, and plus you got to see, Kemp. I think you were talking about the stats not too couple days ago or whatever it was, but Kemp was really good in September. Or maybe it was somebody else.
Yeah, it wasn't me, but yeah, maybe.
Maybe it was Bregman. Bregman over at PSLEN LA.
Oh, yeah. Rachel just texted me saying, y'all need to speak louder on the live stream. Lots of people saying they can't hear you.
Yeah, no, I see a lot of people saying that.
Not on Facebook, but here. There's
all
louder.
on Periscope. There's a lot of people saying that we are
Is
very
Periscope
low.
just generally louder? Or
I have no idea. Yeah,
now
I know
if
how
it's too
phone
loud,
volume works. Thanks, it's not
blame
that.
my producer.
Are we
saying
too loud?
you,
Let us know in the
Dinos.
comments below, guys.
Blame my producer. He was supposed to tell me about the volume on the stream side. Obviously, I can't watch ourselves and do this at the same time because
I am disappointed that you don't have two heads.
I'd have to hear us 30 seconds. I see what you did there.
Yeah,
that is at Kev is your friend on Instagram.
I mean, this is really all it is. All right, here's one. We got Cluck Kurt, Verdugo for Dozier.
Oh, that's my call. That's 100% what I would do.
Yeah.
I want to see a lefty available off the bench. And the team doesn't really have, I mean, you have Taylor, of course, but I would love to have another speedy outfielder. Somebody that's better than Lo Castro, but also somebody you could put in as a pinch hitter, and you're not going to lose something. Because Dozier's not a pinch runner. Oh, sorry, that's what I meant.
I mean, he steals a base here and there where he picks his spots pretty well.
Lo Castro goes in there to steal bases. That's what he was born and bred to do.
Right, but he's not going to make the roster. So
we got we got a couple comments here on YouTube. We got one. Man, this is torturing me. Friday is taking forever. Von Gooch says if he wins a ring, somebody's going to shell out the cheese for Macho Man. And then Anto's asking about the Brewers' biggest weakness. I would say that's the starting rotation. I think that's
100%.
absolutely the starting rotation. There's not much. There's not much there. I mean, honestly, I don't think they have a legit number one starter. Would you guys agree with me on that?
100%.
No,
their number one guy, who is Chassin, is a number 3, maybe a number 4. He's not even cracking the rotation as a Dodger. So that's something you're going to have to attack him. Like I was saying on the podcast, I think it was attack. We've been talking a lot of Dodgers today, guys, and it's great. But my voice is gone. But
the police came to my house because you guys are making too much noise. And then Julio says, "Give Bregman a monitor or a laptop."
He has.
I need to have all that in front of me. It's weird not having that.
I'm surrounded here. I have so many laptops and things.
Now you know what I go through on a regular basis when I have 6 different things in front of me. It's very difficult.
That's how I do it. I normally run it with. Well, I don't have this one.
We're just going to move Maddie in front of you.
Hey,
there you
what's
go.
up, Maddie?
Matt Kemp.
I think he won a lot of that. The hottest Dodger. Didn't Matt win a lot of those?
No, I think it was who ended up winning. Was it Kike?
I mean, it
Gary
varies.
No, it was Gary Lee. Gary Lee, our owner
That's
of Dodgers
at
Nation.
Mr. Gary
at
Lee.
Mr. Gary Lee won hottest Dodger.
Right, well,
the real winner for me was Kenta Maeda, by the way. I'm just saying, hottest Dodger.
I go with Chris Taylor because a lot of people think I look like Chris Taylor.
I'm still going retroactive.
Dump out the abs. Let's see the abs.
No, not happening. It's a beer belly.
One ab.
I'm going retroactive right in Juan Uribe.
Oh, well.
Juan Uribe.
Fine.
Hottest Dodger.
He is
All right,
beautiful.
so let's go over these. Who do you think wins in the bullpen? Dodgers or Brewers. The starting rotation, Dodgers or Brewers, and the offense, Dodgers or Brewers.
So starting rotations, Dodgers 100%.
By far,
yeah.
right? Not even
I mean,
close.
the Dodgers, honestly, I would say the Dodgers are right there with the Astros with the best starting rotation in baseball. That's what I would throw, or at least currently left in the playoffs.
Totally
as
agree.
far as the lineup, I think the Dodgers just have so much more depth, and that's what sets them apart. And we'll get to you right now too, FRG. But that's what sets the Dodgers apart from the rest of the National League is that depth. They have two full-on elite lineups that they can throw out, one against righties, one against lefties, and this is the only team in the National League that has a legit designated hitter if you're in the World Series.
Let's talk about David Freese for one.
God.
There's not enough love I'm seeing here.
I love David Freese.
I'm seeing Paulina saying Dodgers versus Red Sox might cause a divorce at our home. So one like equals one prayer for Paulina.
So do you think that
Dodgers win, I think, on both sides of that. The Brewers have a clear-cut MVP. That much we know because Yelich is likely going to win it. Dodgers don't, but the Dodgers have a team of various MVPs. What's the word? I'm getting
bases loaded, one out. Yankees, Red Sox
4-2, right?
4-2 in the ninth.
Oh, okay. Wait, can we ban Nick Stocks? This is Harold Renner, Dodgers' new announcer. Banned. You're banned.
Ban hammer, Nick. Come on. Come on.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that the Dodgers are better with the starting rotation. Totally agree with you. I think actually their 1 through 9 and how deep they are for their offense is better than
Their 1 through 40 is better on any sort of paper, any sort of stats machines.
Right, and I trust the bullpen for the Dodgers more than the Brewers just because they're going like we talked about earlier in the day. I think that the Brewers bullpen is going to be taxed by the end of this, so I think that the Dodgers bullpen will benefit from that, and they'll be the better bullpen.
The Brewers bullpen, I feel, is going to be like the Dodgers bullpen in 2017. They're going to rely on 2 or 3 guys. It's going to be Corbin Burns. It's going to be Josh Hader. Yeah. And then I think they might be a little wary on Jeffries right now.
And
Jeffries
Joakim Soria.
and then the other guy, he closed for a bit, Corey Knebel. They have a lot of really good arms, but I think they're going to rely too much on it, just like Mattingly. I keep going back to Mattingly.
Mattingly.
I think
You
of
miss Mattingly.
When I think of bad managers, I think of Mattingly. My apologies, but Roberts relied so much on Morrow last year, but now there's just a better depth. You have somebody you can bring in with Ferguson and
Baez.
I can't say his name, as you guys know. Voldemort, I call him. You're starting to trust Kenleys again, and Maeda in the 8th. Outside of a near heart attack. Has been great, and his ability to switch up and down in the zone.
And Colorado's out of the playoffs, so he could pitch anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, Kenley was going to go anyway, right?
Oh, yeah.
He was absolutely going to be there. It was never going to be an issue, so he wasn't. It was fine.
The most controversial call Dave Roberts will ever make in his career was to start Kershaw in Game 2. That was as close as he's going to get to real controversy.
And it was brilliant.
Yeah, 100%.
It was the right move.
It was the right move for multiple reasons. One of which, and we had talked about this, was the fact that was the huge motivating factor that Kershaw needed in the playoffs.
Sure.
Chip on his shoulder Kershaw is the best playoff Kershaw.
Yes.
Like, for sure.
But him also going, I mean, it gave 5 days rest for Rue, gave 5 days rest for Kershaw. Buehler stayed in Game 3. It just made total perfect sense. There was no reason to ever switch that up. 6 days off instead of 4 and giving 4 days. I mean, it's full rest for both, but it just didn't make sense.
It was weird that people were actually upset about the
No,
decision.
I know. It's just because they thought Kershaw was being disrespected. It had nothing to do with it.
So we got a statement of fact for sure, and then a question here. So Frankie says Dodgers rotation way better than the Brewers rotation. 100 right there. So go ahead and find that comment and like it. Brent asks, how much does playoff experience play in the NLCS?
I think a huge amount. I think that the Dodgers being in the NLCS for the 3rd straight year, knowing how to get there, they went deep. Was it 6 games against the Cubs the year before? Then they took out the Cubs the year after. Last year they went to Game 7 of the World Series. A lot of these guys were already here last year. They know how to win when it matters. They've been here before. The Brewers are brand new to this situation. They're still young. I mean, in some sense. I mean, a lot of, like, Ryan Braun's not, but he's never been here in this situation.
True.
They haven't been to the playoffs since 2011, I think it was. And that was a one-and-done wild card.
Right. Oh, was it?
Or maybe, I guess.
Yeah, I think it was before the wild card game. It was.
Right, but so they were out. So they've never been this far, where almost not everybody, but most people on this Dodgers team have been here before, and having that experience means everything in sports. Especially like in basketball, it matters. In football, it doesn't matter. Being here. It's great that all these guys were there last year.
Agreed.
And then David Freese, who's been there so much in the past. That's a 2-time World Series champion, I think it is, and just somebody who's Clutch as hell all day, day.
Okay, we got one
day.
too, and this will force us to kind of look inwards a little bit. But
it's a
Anto wants to
deep
know.
one.
This is a deep one. What's our biggest weakness? What's the Dodgers' biggest weakness going into the series?
The Dodgers' biggest weakness, I think, is going to be
Cody Bellinger.
Yeah, it's well, that's exactly where I was going.
Yeah.
Yes, I know you're joking, but it's true.
No, I'm not beating around. It's Cody Bellinger. Who's going to show up?
Right, and you need good Cody there. You need to have him.
Sorry, Evans.
Yes, yes, Evans. Apologize, but Cody Bellinger is the biggest threat, and also maybe a couple different bullpen pieces that are not your typical bullpen pieces.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a lead, you see Baez, Ferguson, Maeda, Jansen. When
Yeah.
you don't have that lead, that's when you start getting into the other guys that kind of come in with tie games, or if you're losing, and you kind of you'll see them give up runs more often. So I think that might be a little bit of an issue also, but otherwise I think they're stacked.
For so much of the season, we relied on Dylan Floro and Scott Alexander, and you
Right.
couldn't even mention them in that breath because they're not part of the go-to trusted inner circle right
It's a
now.
righty.
Yeah.
It's a Roogie and a Loogie.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I mean, Scotty was somebody who was the eighth inning guy for most of the season. He did a pretty solid job for the greater part. Now, to be able to have him as a true legit, lefty, to only get the lefties out is really huge. But also, you could pitch him against both arms or both batters, both sides of the plate, and provided he doesn't come up and walk the first batter, which he has
So often.
a tendency to do.
Yeah, what is that about?
He likes double plays.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
An
That's true.
upside DP stat. And who doesn't love a good DP?
Everybody
Am I
loves
right?
a
What's
good
going
DP.
out there? Thank you.
All right, I got a question for you here. This is from Michelle Flummenhoft on Twitter. Do you think that Walker can rebound and have another gem like Game 163?
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think that's likely what's going to happen. I don't think that's like, can he do it? I think it's most likely what's going to happen. Remember, Buehler he had one bad inning. It was literally that one bad inning because he was awesome the rest of the game.
Yeah.
It's debatable, too.
Yeah, and exactly. And there were some mitigating factors around that as well. It shouldn't have been as bad of an inning as it was. But he was great the rest of the game. He calmed down. That was his first ever playoff experience, and it was on a hostile field with a bunch of jackasses doing the tomahawk chop in 2018
It's
for some
extremely
reason.
racist.
It's horrifying. But he now has playoff experience behind him, and that's gonna be huge going into Milwaukee. And so I think he's gonna have a game where he gives up maybe a run or two, something like that.
Look, if we're going to expect Kershaw, Rue, Hill, and Buehler all to go 7 innings and 0 runs every single game, that would be incredible.
That'd be amazing. Yeah.
But it's not going to happen. I mean, they're going to give up runs here or there.
Absolutely.
The Dodgers are going to lose games in this series. So we can't – I mean, it happened during the season where we lived and died by every pitch and by every win and every loss. They're going to lose games in this series.
Yeah.
Most people, I think it's going to be 6. Kevin said 6 or 7 that this game was going to go. So that means you're losing 2 or 3 games.
Yeah.
So everybody just relax. If they lose a game, even if they lose game 1, it doesn't mean it's over.
Oh, yeah. No, 100%.
However, if they go down like 0-3,
Then there's
It's
an
over.
issue. No, it's not. No, it's not. They can win the next 4.
sure. If
Guys-
this was hockey, of course.
Guys, I'm very hurt.
Oh,
Red Sox did it.
Mike
true.
Mike Hemme says I look like Matt Stairs. That is
Oh,
cold-blooded.
no.
I look like Bill
Wow.
Maher.
oh my God! Yeah, that's true. He's
Bill
a
Maher,
Bill Maher
yes.
lookalike.
That's at Mr. Gary Lee. Twitter and Instagram.
That was the dirtiest look from Gary I've ever seen in my life, by the way.
Matt Stairs. Wow.
All right,
Let's see.
I'm having issues.
I would say
getting-
Broxton, but all right, I got it.
Angel for Figueroa
Angel
says,
Hernandez.
Oh,
Angel
God.
Hernandez.
He's having another game today, apparently.
Yeah, he says we have a better playoff team than last year without
I agree.
Darvish most especially. I really hope Buehler got his only choke out of the way and out of the postseason and learns from that terrible 5-run inning. And yeah, I think that's perfectly.
Yeah, I was going to
timed
say
touch,
that's something
yeah.
to talk about. Is this a better team than last
Oh,
year's
yeah.
playoff team? And I
Yes.
think it is.
Oh,
I
We
think
yeah.
talked
it's a
about
deeper
this a
team.
couple of times. Last year, it was Morrow and Jansen. If Jansen doesn't have to go, 6 outs a game to get through it, if Kershaw doesn't need to come in and relieve Jansen, who got 9 outs in a game, you're in 1,000 times better of a position.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
Plus,
we
we
saw.
got Voldemort, who we can rely upon again.
That's
Well, there you
true.
go, which is a crazy thing for me to say, too.
Yeah.
I'll say Baez. I'll say the word Baez, but
Yeah.
it's very weird to say that I actually trust him at this point, kind of. And we also don't have Chase Utley that's playing
Yeah.
Chase Utley or Logan Forsythe
Mhm.
playing second base.
True.
in a meaningful game. And what was it? Was he in Game 7 that he was in? It was Game 7.
Yeah.
He started Game 7,
Yeah.
and he botched a play at second base.
Yeah.
That's not who you have there anymore. Now you have Kike Hernandez, who has been ridiculous at
Yeah.
second base.
Good,
He really
close
has.
personal friend.
Yes, Kike
Yeah.
is 100% an everyday player at
Yeah,
this
he is.
point. There's
Your point on
I
that.
appreciate
Yeah.
it. Turner, Machado, Kike, maybe Grandal, but those are your three.
Well, and that's the thing. We had a kind of a hobbled Seager last year too in the
Right.
playoffs, and instead of
He didn't
replacing
even
him with
play in the championship.
he didn't play in the
series.
NLCS, and instead of replacing him with Culberson, who did a great job, we're replacing him with Manny freaking Machado.
right.
With
This is a
legit-
better team.
a bona fide superstar shortstop. And as
Yeah.
much crap we like to talk on Machado, he still had 6 RBI, which is leading baseball in the postseason. For him to have six RBI, and that's with a 14, 16 run output from the Red Sox the other night.
Yeah, I mean, if you look, we were doing this earlier.
Yeah.
If you look at the Red Sox, and I know people are going to wonder who it should be, the Red Sox or it should be the Astros in the World Series against the Dodgers. That's a question for after we get past Milwaukee.
Yeah,
But
and we'll find out because it's going to be the Red Sox Astros now.
yeah,
The Red Sox just
well,
won.
did they just win? Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun series.
So-
It's over.
But I mean, if you look at they had that 16-run inning, like 16-run game, so their numbers look gigantic
Yeah.
right now. But are they actually that big? Do you trust the Red Sox pitching at any sense?
No.
I mean, after Chris Sale, and even do you trust Chris Sale at this point? Because
No.
he's throwing 90 coming into the series, and then he
Yeah.
obviously didn't.
He missed
I
a lot of time through August
Yeah.
and part of September. They're trying to use him as a workhorse to come. I think he relieved in today's game. It's just it's gonna be a lot for him to overcome. And
I agree.
the Stros are gonna have a very, very healthy Verlander to go game 1.
Right.
Yeah. No, and I do trust Chris Sale in the sense of I trust him for a few innings. I think he's good for up to 4 innings, but then you've got to go to your bullpen at that point, because like you said, he was throwing 90 coming into the playoffs. So he's not a guy that you want to go 7 innings. But then do you trust the bullpen?
No.
The Red Sox bullpen.
I don't trust the Red Sox bullpen. I mean, that's why Chris Sale came into this game tonight.
Exactly.
Because they didn't trust the bullpen and they wanted to get to Craig Kimbrell. And now, do you trust Rick Porcello? I don't trust him. I mean, he had a lead today, so he pitched okay. And then, do you trust David Price?
No,
Absolutely
No.
not. No.
As a Dodger fan, I absolutely trust David Price
right.
to get me a win in that ball
Yeah.
game.
Right.
Seriously.
I mean, Nathan Eovaldi has a good arm, but he's been through so many different surgeries. The Dodgers
Yeah.
have seen him before. I mean, he's been around for
drafted
the
the
while.
kid, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I would take Bueller or Hill or Rue or Kershaw over Eovaldi any day of the week.
I'd take Alex Wood over David Price.
in the playoffs, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. I think Ross Stripling would have a gem that game.
So sticking with pitching and rotation, Olivia asked, do you move Rue to start game 3 since he's better at home? And I think they've almost they're just shy of pinning that he's going to be game 3 starter
Right.
because of how much better. It's a 1.15 ERA at home.
It's out of control
Yeah.
what he
Yeah.
does at home. I mean, when you
So
look
good
at
at
home and away splits, Rue's home and away splits are gigantic. Where he is fantastic at home. Although, I mean, Rue has been good all over the place.
Yes,
Yeah.
this year for sure.
Yeah, he's only given up 3 earned runs 3 times the entire year. He was out for a little time.
Yeah.
But it was one early in the year, one in the middle, and one in August, I think. And since then, he has been giving 0, 2, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. He's been fantastic.
He's a
Sorry.
robot. He's
Yeah,
a
I was
computer.
like, were you just
Speaking
Zero,
binary.
one,
speaker in binary code right now?
Well, if I am Rue at this point, so yes.
Comment in the comments below. Do you think 0110111 or do you think 100100011?
2?
Let us know.
But like,
Let us know in comments below.
Speaking of numbers, we got somebody representing the 661 and somebody representing OKC.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
you know me.
Go OKC Dodgers.
Everybody
Tell
loves
Paul
OK
George
Cupid.
to get out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But I forgot what I was going to say, so keep going.
All right.
Frankie asking
You
here,
were speaking in
Yelich.
binary code.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we were lost.
01101.
Frankie says, relax.
High five.
That is
Slap hands.
That is
that
that
was
real
You're a
FRG.
big slap hands guy, aren't you?
Oh, we love slap
yeah.
hands.
Oh boy.
Dude, you gotta wait, that's also
It's your inner water boy. What's happening here?
Yelich is the biggest threat to the Dodgers. Of course, 3 lefties in the Dodgers rotation, a good thing. Yeah.
3 lefties? Yeah, agreed.
I don't put too much stock in between that with the lefty righty. I mean, it's you have,
Especially with Yelich.
it's lefty righty lefty lefty. I mean, you're gonna have
Yeah.
it breaks up with Bueller, and Bueller's got a gigantic arm.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you switch around so much. You have a guy, you're going to go throwing 90, 91 from Kershaw, who's going to pinpoint his accuracy. Then you go to Buehler, who's going to throw 98, 99, and then he's going to drop down to 83 out of nowhere. And then you have to come back and you go to Rue, who's going to be pitching around 90 again, but with great accuracy as well. And you go back over to Hill, and he's throwing different arm angles at you from every different way.
Yeah.
And throwing that curveball that's just fooling people left and right, as long as he gets the high strike, of course.
Agreed.
And so I think you're going to be kept off balance enough by that lefty righty lefty lefty. I don't think I don't believe in the lefty righty need.
Yeah,
in the
no,
starting rotation.
I'm with you on that. And then when it comes to Yelich, my thought is like keep him in the park. If we can keep him in the park, I think he's fine because you're not going to shut him down completely. You're just not. The guy is just too good.
Right.
He's been on fire almost the entire season. So you're not going to shut him down completely, but you could shut down the rest of that lineup. It's a good lineup. It's not a great lineup. And it's guys that can be pretty streaky. And so I feel like if we can keep him where he's getting a single here, a double here, and then we're shutting down the other guys in the lineup, he's not going to do anything.
They have a 38-year-old dude catching.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's kind of their go-to guy. Pena behind the plate is electric behind the plate, but he's not so much of a batter. And Eric Kratz, who pray for him, he scored a go-ahead run in one of the games. He's
pray for Mojo.
5 for 8 in the DS, but still, you have a 38-year-old catcher, you're kind of in for a struggle.
Yeah, and I think if you can, that's where the biggest thing is going to be. Where if these starting pitchers can get through the top of that lineup with consistency, get past Kane, Yelich, Braun, it all kind of starts falling off at that point. Travis Shaw is good. Jesus Aguilar is good. Mike Moustakas gets big hits with people on base. But if you can keep guys off the base path for Moustakas, then I think you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
And then after that, you got Orlando Arcia and Pena or Kratz, whoever it's going to be.
Yeah.
And then you're going into your pitcher who's not a good hitter in any sense in any one of those guys. Whereas the Dodgers pitchers are very much, they want to be good hitters.
Babe Ruth, baby.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
2018
That's right.
National League Silver Slugger Award winner, Babe Ruth, 1,000%. And by the way, we want to make sure, because we haven't done it yet, if you guys are sending us questions, all that, we want to shout you out properly. Give us your area codes like you saw. Not in binary, preferred. But give us your area codes, zip codes, all that, home address, work schedule, whatever you need.
We got the 714. We got the 909. Ooh, the 909. Ooh.
There you go.
So
I don't know.
Oh, and then the
saying, but I'm gonna
424,
check it
Carson
out.
and Torrance.
So I'm still trying to catch up. I got a bunch of comments on Facebook that we're still missing catching up on. Chewy's asking, or he's saying Astros are scary good. Do we believe, or he believes, they have a better starting rotation than the Dodgers? What do you guys think?
I mean,
I think it's pretty evenly matched.
I would say it's evenly matched.
This season, 100%. Last year, leaps and bounds, Astros had the better rotation.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. This
Because
year,
they do something to the ball.
yeah.
Damn
There's something there.
I think we need to actually make it known, be sure that, Justin Verlander did not win a game in the World Series last year.
No, he didn't.
He should have lost twice. Rich Hill had him beat in Game 2.
Yep.
And then they beat him in Game 6.
Yeah.
You don't have any idea how many people you're upsetting right now?
Oh, I know.
man.
I know.
You're
isn't
pissing
Howard
off
Cole?
so many people's narratives.
Well, we don't talk about him. But
You talk about Coward Hole?
So many people online where you keep
My
getting the
God.
same regurgitated narrative of, or had we got Verlander over Darvish last year, and again, we don't want to keep bringing up 2017, but you look at the numbers. Homeboy Darvish was better than Verlander at the time. It's just that Astros are so far advanced in what they teach in spin rate right now that they rejuvenated.
he's saying it, not any of us. That's all. That's all.
Nobody
Kevin.
said nothing, but hey, I didn't say nothing here. They rejuvenated it. 35-year-old old man in Verdugo or whatever his name is, Verlander.
He was throwing 90.
Yeah.
A year ago,
and then
2
all of a
years ago.
sudden,
Yeah.
because when they picked him up, he had like a 4.5, I think it was a 4.26 ERA.
I mean, we were pitching for a bad Detroit team too.
He didn't have much to be at the ballpark for. Plus, he has Kate Upton at home, so
That's a good point.
All right, I got a 949
Oh, yeah.
Irvine. I got a Los Banos, California, and 209. I got a
Oh, I know where that is.
Eddie Burdone,
Yeah.
Tam Smith
Actually, yeah.
1, Indio, California 760 for G Star 760. The 805 Cash Nane D. Carpinteria 805. Got another 805 Brentwood, California. Man, Diamond Hoggers, you're not in Brentwood, California.
Hey,
He
we're the-
stayed there once in an Airbnb.
hey, that's where the tea is free and plentiful. I tells you guys.
That's what I was
Right.
So I wanted to go real quick because we were just talking about the Dodgers having pitchers that can hit. That was something we talked about last week, FRG and I. But that's one thing that I've been really impressed with Kershaw. Is Kershaw, when nobody's on base, he doesn't really do much.
Mm-hmm.
But when guys are on base, and especially when runners are in scoring position, he might be our best hitter with runners in
Yeah,
scoring
he's a
position.
clutch batter.
He always finds exactly where to poke that ball. I mean, it's if they have the shift on against him, he's going down the third baseline.
I mean, who's shifting against Kershaw?
no, that's
the-
true.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And was that hashtag?
He's a pull hitter.
hashtag Kershaw for DH.
Honestly, we talked about this a couple times during the first two games. I was kind of like, you know what? I might bring in Kershaw to pinch hit right here. I
Yeah.
mean, and it
There's
sounds
certain
ridiculous,
times,
but
yeah.
there
There
are
probably,
times.
yeah, you would probably get a better at bat than you would get sometimes.
Yeah.
With, like Puig is very seldom good in a pinch hit role.
Yeah.
He looks very often overmatched and down 0-2 right away. I think that's kind of the feel of a lot of them. Like outside of the playoffs and outside of the game 3, Jock normally is pretty rough off of the bench, but that was a fantastic at bat against
Yeah, I did
Vizcaino. And again, for Jock, the playoffs are a different animal. But yeah, give me Kershaw. against
Honestly.
just about anybody sometimes.
100%. Oh, we've got some shout outs here. We've got 909 Fontana. We've got the 405, the 714, the 555, which I don't think is a real thing. We've got Lubbock, Texas, and then Whittier, 562.
Hey, what's going on? We
Whittier.
represent, man. We got another 626 over here. We got put Ryu game 1 starter. I saw a number, so that works. Ooh, 217 Springfield, Illinois. Our friend Brian Hatfield, friend of the show.
Oh, okay.
Sure
Nick
is.
Stocks, who's
He loves the show, by the way.
Nick is trolling. He says now I look like John Kruk, and that's he's coming.
See,
from
I
the
see that
801.
one more. I see that one more. I'm okay with that one too.
I love it.
He's coming from the,
I might throw out from back in the day. I might throw out a Kent Herbeck too.
You, Kent Herbeck. Wow, you just want to be say Ryan Gosling again. That's all you really want.
racist. Hey, he's the one who called me Ryan Gosling.
Oh, I got this G star 760 saying Ryu for DH.
say
Or
star
Ryu.
67.
Hey,
Isn't that
I'm cool with Ryu as well.
You want to block that?
yeah,
Ryu
block
can
that.
hit.
Ryu
Ron
can.
coming from the 559. Arturo coming from San Gabriel. What's going on? Talk about Puig's antics. That needs to stop.
I disagree with that. I
Go,
love
baby.
the way Puig plays the game.
He had one questionable, but not overly questionable. This was a bad result, thanks to Mr. Gary Lee telling him run.
Yeah, that is Gary's
Well,
fault.
the very, very delayed steal in game 2.
Very, very delayed.
Yeah.
I mean,
But he was like a
split
fraction of a
second too
second
early.
from it. If
so if he would have left on
Suzuki-
time,
No, because then he would have been ready to actually throw the ball. Suzuki was just about to let go of the ball, and he still yanked it in the throw. Like it was either he was going to let go of the ball, and then Puig would have been there by the time the ball got to the pitcher and then relayed back to second base. It wasn't as bad of a call as it looked. It was more magnified because it's Puig. And it's postseason baseball, and it was John Smoltz in the booth.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Normally I would agree with that, but I think that
You damn well better.
no,
You know, it's good for you, buddy.
Seeing a guy, doesn't matter who it is, if it was Chris Taylor, if it was Jock Peterson, Cody Bellinger, who's extremely fast, if it was him doing with a delayed steal like that, I'd be like, what are you doing? It doesn't matter. I still think that was a bad move. Whether it worked or
Yeah.
it didn't work, it was still weird, and I didn't like it. But that doesn't take away from the fact that Yasiel Puig and the way he plays the game is the right way to play the game.
Exactly.
You deal with the good Puig and you get the bad Puig sometimes.
Listen to Ken Griffey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let the kids play.
Look, Puig giveth and Puig taketh away.
Yeah.
To an extent. To an
The
extent.
Ken Griffey.
562 Downey, Elizabeth, what's going on? Nick
Hey,
still saying I'm John Kruk, and that's very hurtful. Myra, 702 Vegas, baby, what's going on? Put all the money on black.
Oh, someone is predicting that. Oh, there's a Hanford, California. I don't know where that is. 559. Ryu will get a hit off Hader.
Ooh.
Oh, look at that. You think Hader's going to be in at that time while Rue's still in? I mean,
mean,
that's
I'm
good
in.
for it. Yeah, great.
Maybe
If he's
I
still
think if
in?
The Dodgers are up like 6-0 in the third. Maybe.
I'm giving that person a point. I'm giving that person a
Right.
point for that call.
Oh, I got this. Oh, here. This is one here. We got old man get off my lawn person here. At limited stick, the stopping short of second in game 4 was annoying from Puig.
I get it. It's a different take for different people.
Yeah.
Different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
Right,
love-
but I
love
mean-
Puig.
Three's company too. Whatever.
Tim from Hanford, California, over here agrees. He said, "I agree with Puig's antics. I love it."
Yeah, again, you have to be ready to attack and pounce at any time. You know, sometimes it doesn't work out. But had it worked out, again, had it just been that split second, everybody would be singing praises like that was a heads-up play by Puig.
Right. Well, I think a lot of times you see Puig, it's when he makes the bad decisions that cost runs, or the bad decisions that cost us runs, whether it gives them runs or it takes away from us. And
or in that case, Bellinger's at bat.
Sure, Bellinger. Yeah. Bellinger was at bat. There was two outs. Fine. Go.
He took him out of his zone or whatever, but
right. I mean, like Bellinger hasn't been in any zone whatsoever. I would love to see him get back into that
Twilight zone.
Diamond Hoggers, I apologize.
I'm just going all old shows now.
I like it. Okay, someone's asking us who do we have starting the first 2 games on the road, and then who do we have starting game 3?
Game 2 is probably going to be Walker Buehler.
Okay.
And then game 3 is probably going to be Ryu. And Hill will probably be game 4. That would be my guess. I mean, you guys might think differently.
No, that's exactly what I would go with as well. I think Hill is also better at home, so I think it's good for him to start at Dodger Stadium.
So is Ryu.
And Ryu is amazing at home. And then I think Buehler gets over his jitters on the road this time too against Milwaukee. But yeah, I think Kershaw number 1. Then Buehler, Ryu, Hill.
See, if we look at stats a lot, right? So it's saying that Ryu's better at home, Hill's better at home. If you look at the splits for Walker Buehler, his splits are also better at home, worse on the road by about 2 runs. However, I mean that's throughout the entire season.
Yeah.
So Buehler on the road this year, he's had 2 in the last month and a half. He's had 2 starts on the road with 0 runs. One was in Colorado.
Yeah.
And one was in St. Louis. So, I mean, against the teams that they needed to beat when they needed to beat them, against the good teams on the road in hitters' ballparks, to be honest, the hitters' ballparks, he came through clutch and went 7 and 8 innings with 0 runs.
Yeah, he did.
And for what it's worth, Buehler, in his 1 start this year and in his career against Milwaukee, 7 innings, 1 earned run, and that was at Dodger Stadium, FYI. So that much holds up, and we'll see what he can do in the postseason at Miller Park.
Yeah.
And Miller Park it's kind of a hitter's park.
It is
right?
a hitter's park.
Oh,
yeah.
You know, we just came from the stupid chop on, and now we're gonna have to deal with the train.
Oh God, that train's so annoying. But Yasiel Puig actually yesterday or today, I think it was yesterday, he called it a baby ballpark.
He did. Yeah.
The same thing to the Astros last year.
Well, because
too.
that's a baby ballpark too. That's a little
man.
bandbox.
He got one barely home run into the bandbox last year. Okay, you know what? Enough of 2017.
No more 2017.
We're done with number 2.
We are stopping all 2017 talk.
Well, moving
at this
into
point.
2018, Houston's ballpark pisses me off because it's still left field is 305 feet. That is a goddamn little league park.
Yeah, right.
That's insane.
305 is ridiculous.
Straight to left field, those boxes right there.
Do you know what it is
when
to
I was
right
12,
field
I could have hit a 305-foot home run in Little League.
Right. Do you know what it is to right field at Yankee Stadium? I don't know the number. I don't know what it is, but it's
like 28 feet.
Yeah, it's tiny going to these American League teams with these tiny little ballparks, and they wonder why they have better offenses than the National League.
You wonder why Machado hit 24 home runs.
Right. Gavin Yards is a tiny little nothing ballpark. Get out of here.
People are like, oh, yeah, Alex Bregman, he's got so much power. He's so great. Okay, put him at Petco, and let's see how many goddamn home runs he hits.
Right.
Or put Eric Hosmer at Petco. Oh, it didn't work.
Yeah, that did not work out so well.
So Javi asks what we think.
Soon.
What we think. Javi asks what we think the Dodgers' approach should be against the Brewers in this series, and I like that. Do you want small ball? Do you want attack early? Get deep in the count and try to walk. Let's go with the Bergman first.
Yeah, go ahead, Bergman.
All right, so when it comes to small ball, I think we need to kind of understand here that this team does not play small ball. They are a home run or bust type team. They're not going to all of a sudden change to appease the fan base to be small ball. You're not going to have first and second base and Max Muncy bunt over those guys. Nope. It's just not going to happen. They do not play that way. And then you're taking the bat out of Max Muncy's hand anyway. Yeah. There's only bunting is a very it's a learned thing to do. We don't know that Max Muncy even knows how to bunt correctly, how to place his bat. I mean, Brett Butler knew how to do it. He was amazing at it, but that doesn't mean that Max Muncy can. That
was also almost 30 years ago.
Yeah, it was. Hey, you gotta throw out a Brett Butler reference every once in a while.
I miss Brett Butler.
Yeah, right. But I think I think you're going to see the exact same team. They're going to live and die by the home run
and the walk.
And the walk. Yeah, and that's the biggest part of it. They were talking about it in the broadcast even. it's different when you have a team that lives and die by the home run, but also gets a lot of walks, than it is when you have a lot of walks but no home runs, or home runs and no walks.
Yeah,
because you're able to get those 2-3 home runs.
Yeah.
The grand slams.
You don't
whatever
want a
it
team
is.
full of Adam Dunns and Chris Davises.
Correct.
Yeah.
The solo home runs, there's going to be a lot of them. Just beware.
Yeah.
There will be a lot of solo home runs. So I think that they're going to stick that way. You won't see too much small ball. Hopefully, guys like Cody Bellinger, Chris Taylor, Jock Peterson, they can shorten up their swing a little bit and get on base.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping to see. I'm hoping to see them shorten up on 2 strikes. Especially, look, if there's nobody on base, fine, keep swinging for the fences. Do what you're going to do. That's who you are as a team. But if you've got a guy on second, if you've got a guy on third, if you've got bases loaded with nobody out or 1 out, and you got 2 strikes on you, shorten up that swing. That's what Mike Trout does. Mike Trout is the best player in the history of the game.
Never heard of him.
I think that's what you do. You shorten up the swing and you just try and get a single, because with the speed of a lot of the guys on the team, a single, if the bases are loaded, a single is 2 runs.
Yep.
And it's 1 guy going over to third. I mean, and that's a difference maker right there.
I mean, we saw it in last night's game. We saw Puig and who was it? Puig and Bellinger on second and third.
Yep.
And then you had David Freese up the middle, 2-run score instead of 1-run scoring.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of that exact same thing.
They have that speed. Exactly.
Yes. And David Freese hits singles.
And also, if you're a
advantage of what
catcher,
you
you don't
can.
want Puig barreling down full speed at you.
No.
Even with the new rules, you don't want to see that.
So we got our friend Randy from 503 Oregon. Thanks for hanging out, Randy.
What's up, Randy?
801, Nick. I finally got you in there, Nick. He's been calling for that shout out for a bit. Sorry, these two they talk.
Yeah, we don't shut up. Sorry about that.
Anthony from the 951. Welcome. There's the 805. Patrick Cullen. No relation to Edward Cullen. I'm sorry.
Did you just
She
make
was-
a Twilight
She
reference?
was young when I was young.
Good Lord.
I got one from who is this from? Tapia? Is it R Tapia? Yeah, R Tapia 24. Would it be bad to run Milwaukee starters pitch count up because then out of the game is better for Milwaukee?
Well, that's what we were talking about.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's good to run their pitch count up if we're also scoring runs, but if we're just running their pitch count up so they can get to the bullpen quicker, probably not.
Yeah, you want to score against the starters at that point. But I mean,
You're gonna score against these starters.
I think you're going to score against the starters. Plus, if you do get to the bullpen, I'm actually okay with getting to the bullpen at any time early. The better, the earlier, the better. I don't care if you don't score runs in the first 2 innings but you knock out, you get their pitch count up.
Yeah.
But then you still knock them out in the second inning. I want to see their bullpen more often than not. I know they have a good bullpen, but the
Yeah, I
more
see
they
what you're
get
saying.
used, I think they start wearing down, especially in a 7-game series. It's just it makes more sense to always get to that bullpen. I don't care if they're good right now.
Yeah.
Bullpens in the postseason are not the same as they are in the regular season.
And then that's the thing is they're really good and they're probably the best in the majors, but they're not unhittable.
No.
They're not unhittable. It's not like the Dodgers are not going to get hits, that they're not going to score runs against them. They are. And so the more that we tax that bullpen, I think the better. We also have a question here, and this is kind of going back to that stadium question we were talking about. So he asked, isn't AT&T Park's right field a really short 309 feet? I don't know that.
I mean, but it's also really tall.
Yeah.
So you have to hit the ball high and far, and it bounces off the wall. I'm not sure if it's 309 or what
Plus-
the number is.
I
Plus
feel like
the
it's got to
wind
be
in.
longer than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then you get
The
the
wind in,
which makes it even more
You got to go
difficult.
way up. I mean, you got to really
It's not
put
like
the
Green
ball in
Monster,
there.
but it's pretty high.
No,
Right.
that's a 104 exit velo and like at least 28 on launch angle to get out of there.
Yeah.
By the way, that's something I wanted to bring up. FRG has become awesome at we're watching the game and somebody hits the ball and he's like, that's like a 38-degree angle and that's about a 103 exit velo, and he'll be off by 1. It's dude
that's
is
pretty
dude is
crazy.
I'm a
Rain Man.
StatCast savant.
He's Rain Man over here. He doesn't know anything else, but he knows that.
What I lack in everything else, I gain in pointless ability to call that. So we got a couple.
They're
of
saying it
Puigs.
is 309 feet in AT&T.
Is it really? Wow.
Puigs in a row. We had
Mitigating factors, though.
Ernest Mota, friend of the show, friend of the
yeah.
me. He's talking about how he loves to have Puig in there just to make the announcers upset, which is funny.
Oh, it is great.
Elizabeth, love Puig, makes baseball fun. And
And that's
Tina,
how you would say it. Puig make baseball fun.
Puig make baseball fun.
Tina, I
Puig
love-
do 2 things: hit
I
home
love-
run, lay pipe.
I love. There we go.
Oh, boy.
Tina's point here, I love it. If Manny could be Manny, then Puig should be Puig. 100. We'll go ahead and give you a whip of approval.
Wow, whip of approval. Wow. All right, let's see this. I got our
7-1-4.
Tapia again. Is the 2-3-2 format on an advantage for the team with the 3 straight home games?
I like to think so, because if you win one on the road,
Yeah.
again, it's the same thing with the 2-2-1. It takes away that home field advantage for the other team.
Yeah. I would argue, though, with this team, it doesn't really matter either way because the Dodgers are such a good road team.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
it's not super important either way. I think they could clinch in Milwaukee or at home.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could be crazy. I think they could, if they can get to that bullpen early in game 1. I think they win game 1. By the way, I think Kershaw wins game 1.
I think you're right.
I think it's gonna be tough getting. It's gonna be a really low scoring game
Yeah.
2, and I think they end up losing late. It's like a tie game. They end up losing, but then they win 2 at home, and they win back. I think it was 6, but I think a lot of this, the 2-3-2, I think works definitely more in the Dodgers' favor in that sense.
Yeah, I would agree with that. You got a funny one over here?
Brian says, always bet on black. Again, I'm pretty far behind, guys. We're missing a lot over here, but it's hard to get through them quick enough. And then we're digging into some gold for you guys.
It's true. And we're coming to the end of the broadcast here pretty soon.
We're gonna be here for 3 more days straight.
You guys do that. I will see you all later.
I think you just want to leave.
I do.
He
Actually.
always wants to leave.
I have a lot of work to do. We did get a comment here. Greg looks like Chris D'Elia.
Crystalia?
Oh, there you go. That's his name.
No, that
I don't
guy's
know.
That's a
weird.
comedian.
Yeah, he's a comedian. He's funny. He's actually
He is,
pretty
yeah, I've
funny.
seen him before.
He had a good show with what was her name?
Oh, yes. Whitney Cummings.
Whitney Cummings. Yes,
Yeah,
that was a
yeah.
good show. I actually liked that show. So, okay. I don't have long hair like that, but that's cool.
Angel Figueroa says, as long as Angel Hernandez is not the ump.
Man,
Yeah.
Angel Hernandez and Joe West need to be
Fired.
nowhere near these games.
Yeah. Unfortunately, if we do get to the World Series, I think that they are part of that crew, aren't they?
Can we send them up to the farm?
I think we
Please.
should. Just a big farm upstate where they can run with all the other old empires. And, you
I
know,
think there's a
just
real question though.
acres to
How does Angel Hernandez go to the World Series game? How does he play? How does he umpire in?
I'm not sure
in
how
the
they pick
playoffs.
this.
Poorly.
Yeah,
Poorly,
He does
if so,
horribly.
poorly.
Yes.
Yeah,
I-
how is
I'm-
this possible?
I'm not sure how they pick the umps for each of the series, but I feel like they tend to throw him and Joe West into huge games or huge series.
Because they've been around for a while.
I think it's
because-
based on seniority.
But
I'm
they
guessing.
have. Usually it goes by. In the NBA, it goes by who has the best stats throughout the year. That's how you get into it. I think it does in the NFL as well.
Yeah. Well, it's
but-
who has the best stats, and then it was plus Joey Crawford.
Well, of course, because he was Joey Crawford. But why is it not like that? Maybe it is. I don't know enough about umpires in baseball, but why are these guys, especially Angel Hernandez, is like middle of the pack
Yeah.
and really bad, and all the players hate him, and all the fans hate him,
Yeah,
and
he's
everybody
terrible.
hates him. Why is he still there?
I don't know.
Because he's suing them, and it would look bad. He's suing baseball, and it would look really bad if you fire somebody when you're suing him.
All right. Well, Commissioner FRG is who I trust generally.
Fire
Yeah.
everybody.
And yes, everybody
Snapping
asking,
turtles.
Angel Hernandez is suing the MLB for racial.
Is it
reasons.
like defamation or something
Yeah.
like that? So we had one from Twitter from Coy Goodhart. And it's something we haven't talked about very much. But he says, yes, Kike, love him, never let him go, play him anywhere. Kike
Yeah.
is definitely going to be a pretty big, he didn't have the greatest of series offensively against Atlanta, but man, was he big defensively. And he could be a real big-time catalyst.
Also, let Kike catch.
Oh no, it's
Let's
too
go
far
ahead
back.
Let's not.
Let's
Let
not do
Kike
that.
catch. Let Kike catch.
I mean, he's a guy that's going to play. Like you said, is he kind of in a spot where he's kind of screwed actually because he can play so many positions.
Mm-hmm.
He's a guy that wears all the hats and does everything.
He's a man of many gloves.
Right. So
He is.
next year, is he still going to be an everyday guy, or is he kind of because we can make you super utility anytime we want? That's just kind of who he is.
If we go a little throwback Thursday, I mean, Mike Scioscia turned Sean Figgins into an amazing, talented ball player by playing him everywhere, but every day. I mean, that dude played every single spot.
Right.
I got a Kike for Cy Young comment.
What do you have? Like
I'm surprised it wasn't that game blew the whole Dodger season.
Reliever
well, we're
of the
happy
year.
now. What was that, like a 161 ERA?
Yeah.
I was saying 161. Brian Hatfield for you, Kevin. He says, I was awake for 4.5 days. Wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, I don't have enough cocaine in the world to do that, so no, I'm good.
But with your help.
But with your help and a small donation of $1,500 a day, you can help me.
That's at Kev is your friend. At Kev is your friend.
Right here.
Do we get an Urias sighting? And this is from
I hope.
Unlimited Stick.
I'd like to see it, but I think the likely candidate is.
Do we get an unlimited stick cast?
I think the likely candidates to be on the NLCS roster that we talked about was Stripling and then possibly Josh Fields, but they had all three of them pitching simulated games, so
Right.
we'll see.
Yeah, it could be any of them. I just don't know who you take off in that situation.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense to move Alex Wood in and put in Ross Stripling, but I don't know who makes sense to move in and out for
yeah.
Urias or for Venditti.
Bellinger.
Yeah, Bellinger.
Well, if you want to go with 12,
you can. That's
but
what
you're
I
not
was
moving
advocating.
You're not
but-
moving Bellinger.
Well,
Yeah.
and I mean, I think someone who might have some more insight in that is our friend Houston Mitchell from the LA Times. He's been writing something about that. So keep track of Houston Mitchell's columns
Yeah,
in
he's a good dude.
LA Times. Really good guy, really smart, but he would probably have some good insight on that.
Hey, welcome to the broadcast legend. ... or ____. First time watching one of these, so hello.
What's going on, Johnny? 3 letters.
Oh.
Yeah.
Beth,
Johnny Dangerously.
Beth says Stripling overrated. Maybe a bit.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you guys were talking about it earlier, though, that apparently he
Yeah,
was
there
tipping
was-
his pitches. Go ahead.
Yeah, there was a pitch tip situation, and it looks like they ironed it
Was
out.
it just the tip?
Maybe, perhaps, just the tip. You let us know.
God, you are really trying to get out of here.
Some people.
Yes, so apparently he was tipping his pitches, and he. So if that's the case, and they figured that out, totally fine with him being there instead of Wood.
I would say
All right,
that's my response.
I'll take it.
I think we're all running on empty here, guys. Are we?
I think we are.
Well, I know he. Yeah, I don't give in to his opinion.
Well, I have an actual job, so
Nobody
I
cares about your actual
I
work.
So
didn't
do
leave
I.
here and go to work in the morning. So
Well, I got to do everything else.
yes, he has to.
Classic.
You have to walk around with all that sexiness, so that's difficult to do.
All right, we are getting the rap signal. So, look at it.
They're playing us off, guys. They're playing us off.
All right, guys. Well, I guess that hangs out. That's the end of the hangout for today. We
Yeah.
appreciate anybody we missed. That was your own damn fault. He should have commented when we weren't talking. Come on.
This is at Real FRG. Just feel free to at him.
But yeah, there's this guy, that guy over there does post game after every single game of the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
Me and this guy do a podcast that's going to be coming out twice a week during
the playoffs.
The playoffs.
Next episode is tomorrow.
We
We'll
come
drop
out
tomorrow morning.
Joe Davis, Jerry Harrison Jr., friends of the show, are on again to talk about
And this
Diaz.
guy who sat in with
And
us.
that guy.
I
He was
did. I
on
did
for
sit
the
in with you guys. I just
entire
want to know
show.
why I don't have a little Instagram picture next to my name, but everybody else does.
Do you have Instagram?
I do.
Is it Bergman Greg?
Sure is.
Or is it Bergman?
Oh.
Also, you can follow him at Bergman
You should
Greg.
be happy I made you a
or
graphic.
Yes, I am.
You
All right,
can
but
follow
that's-
him at Bergman Greg or at Bergman Nation.
Oh,
So
go ahead.
there's
That
two
whole
of those.
Go ahead, just get rid of that title card real quick.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, guys. It was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for having me on the podcast
was
and doing
fun.
this. It was I had a blast.
Do the thing. Nailed it.
Boom.
Ooh, everybody heard that.